Welcome back, everybody, to the Sharpshooter Sports Talk. I am your humble and gracious host, Mr. Brinsky Sharp, on the ones, the twos, the threes, the fours, and the fives and six. Of course, man, we getting closer and closer to college football, man, and y'all know it's about to be straight chaos with everybody's fan base, from Alabama to Auburn to Florida to Texas, all that good stuff. And of course, we got a special guest on tonight. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce the cast, and we're going to bring them up. Of course, our good brother, Alabama A&M former running back and graduate, the man with the master plan, the most underrated person on these YouTube streets when it comes to this college football, Coach.
Much love to my broski Brinsky. Much love to my broski Tez and my Tuskegee Connect. You know what I'm saying? Really, really excited to have our special guest, as always, right? A real Bama insider, right? Much love to all you guys, man, and a blessing to be back in another session.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, my good brother, Tuskegee fam, big dog, good friend. He's an Auburn fan, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive him. We all make mistakes in life. Everybody can't be perfect. But he's a good brother, know everything about cameras. Our good brother, my friend from SC Season, Tez. What's going on, man?
Man, feeling pretty good, man. That was pretty lofty, man. I don't know if I know everything about cameras. I know a little bit.
Hey, man, you know a lot, man. I'm giving you your credit, man, of course. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, our good brother coming back to the show. Good to have him back up here. A good old college football analyst for Cover Crimson and sometimes Twitter troll. The great Clint Lamb, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up, broski?
Man?
I want to get everybody to start bringing up Twitter troll in the intro. I like that.
Oh yeah, man. You one of my favorite, and trust me, one of the questions that I have tonight is definitely dealing with something that you said for real. So definitely
that could be a number of different things, man.
Oh yes, I wouldn't even call it trolling, to be honest, but you were speaking fast that a lot of us was. I give you a hint. Indiana is one.
Oh yeah. I'm gladly go down that road.
Oh yes, but of course, let's get right on into it, man. Coach Sean.
Yes, sir. First thing I want to know, Clint, you know I'm a little biased to this position, of course. I want to know about our running backs now, man. With Jam going down, expected to have an awesome year, and still may possibly have an awesome year if it's a clean break. You know, don't really know the extent of the break, or is it really a break or whatever. I just know it's a shoulder injury of some sorts, 4 to 8 weeks or some sorts. What are you hearing about first Jam, and then second, who steps up and supplants Jam and takes us into the first game, the second game, the third game? Who do you see is going to be that man?
Yeah, you know, I think it could go in a number of different directions as far as who steps up. As far as Jam's concerned, yeah, I do think SEC play is kind of the goal. You got to see how he's progressing. Obviously, when you have these sort of injuries, sometimes there's the chance of a reoccurring thing. You want to try to avoid that. But I think based off of the fact that we knew nothing about it, and you're talking to people at the scrimmage and no one mentions it, and I jumped both the people I talked to. I was like, I can't believe that he ended up having this sort of severe, this sort of the severity of this injury. And couldn't nobody bring it up to me and even mention that he had to walk off the field or whatever. But, I don't even think the coaching staff realized how serious it was.
Yeah.
But, going to some of the other running backs, and earlier on my show, so I guess we'll start with Ryan Grubb. His interview earlier, I've been trying to figure out, okay, I think we see all three running backs.
Yep.
But it's like, who ends up getting the start? We know Richard Young's been working number 2 in line, and now he's kind of leading the pack with Jam Miller out. But yet, when Ryan Grubb was asked about the running backs today, the first guy that he brought up was Daniel Hill. Then he talked about Dre Washington. Then he talked about Kevin Riley, which I thought was really interesting. That's a name that we haven't really heard too much. And I was wondering, didn't mention Richard Young at all. And when Kalen DeBoer was asked about the running backs last week, when Jam Miller was healthy, he brought up Jam Miller, he brought up Daniel Hill, and he brought up Dre Washington and talked pretty extensively about all three. And then he mentioned at the end, and Rich Young is doing his thing too. I just thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of, in some ways, if you're reading between the lines, it's kind of clouded my judgment on how this could end up working out. But something I noticed earlier, I was going back through Ryan Grubb's interview, and he starts off, he says, Daniel Hill's done a good job at providing protection. He's gotten a lot better as far as using his eyes. He's a super physical guy. And then he says, I think Daniel has started, and then he started in on Daniel Hill. And then he talked about Dre Washington, and he mentioned Dre by name. I think he called Richard Young, Daniel Hill, that conversation, because when he asked about Richard Young, he was the same phrase, super physical. And then I started thinking about another time that we've talked to Ryan Grubb about Richard Young. He had talked up his improvement in pass protection and how he understood, what he was supposed to do. He's made vast improvement. So, that's something that I kind of wanted to set the record straight, because on my show earlier, I thought it was a huge deal that he just completely glossed over. I was like, he even went to Kevin Riley and didn't bring up Richard Young.
Right.
Until he was specifically asked about it, and then he brought him up. I think Richard Young was the first guy he brought up when he was asked about it. I just think he accidentally called him Daniel Hill, which is exactly why he also said, as he started talking about what should have been Daniel Hill, he said, and I think Daniel mentioned him by name. So I thought that was interesting. This could go in a number of different directions. I think you see all three. And I think it could be a matter of just riding the hot hand, but it's a good running back room, and I think they're going to be able to run the football.
I tell you this, I cannot wait, man. I'm really excited about that position. I was excited about that position coming into the season. I knew the talent that was behind Jam. I knew Jam, and usually with running backs, especially running backs who's in the program a lot, that third year-esque, man, you really start to see a lot of blossoming when they finally get past pro down, when they finally get the feel of the game. Clint, running back is one of those kind of things where you need to be in the game to feel how it's going. You need to play to really understand the speed of the game and how things is going. I hate when they get 2 or 3 carries and leave, come back somebody else. You need to be in the game to feel the flow of the game, to see how it's going. And I'm really excited for these guys.
Yeah, I definitely think that you're right. Jam was, I hate it for him because he was having such a good offseason. And really, that a lot of people talk about fall camp, and he was really putting it all together, all the work and everything, like you just heard about. It was all coming together beautifully for him. But he was making improvements and really leaving an impression on the coaching staff back in the spring and all throughout the summer, always looking to improve, always working on something. Never settling for saying, hey, I'm in a good place. It's like, what else can I improve on? How can I become a complete back? How can I help this offense? And so you hate that he is going to have this hopefully minor setback. Yeah. But I will say, if he's able to return by SEC play, he'll still get a huge chunk of the season. I don't know if they'll work him back in slowly or if it'll be right back to being the lead horse. But either way, I think he's going to have a productive season when he's back. And, I think Alabama's run game and just the way the offense sets up in general, I think it's going to surprise some people. I'm not saying that it won't miss Jam. I certainly think that they will to an extent, but I think that all these guys can get the job done. And I think with everything else they're going to have offensively, they should have quite a bit of success.
Facts.
I'm about to say, you have no idea. I think I seen some with Josh Pate. It's probably when SEC play, he'll probably come back. Maybe the Georgia game, maybe. Do you think he'll be back by the Georgia game?
I think that's the goal. I think you got to get closer and find out where he's at. I was talking to my wife, she's a nurse, about these kind of injuries, whether it's a broken collarbone, whether it's a dislocated collarbone, what grade is it? And she was just saying, there's so many factors or variables involved where you can say 5-6 weeks, 6-8 weeks, 8-12 weeks. And so while we have a rough idea of what it is, We don't have enough details to be able to tell you exactly when he's going to be able to come back. But I think according to the plan, the hope is that he's going to be back by then, but there's nothing definitive on that front, I don't think, yet. And they probably won't know until they start getting closer to time, because he might be able to return to practice, but is he 100%? What is he able to do? Like, it could be something where, technically if they had to have him, they could turn to him, but he probably still needs a little bit of time. Like I said, you just don't want it to happen again. So keeping him healthy or making sure that he didn't fall right back into the same problem, I think that's going to be a priority for sure.
I'll say this really quickly, Brinsky. I think Daniel Hill, because for me, playing that position, the one thing I really, really was interested in is how does these other running backs fit into the passing game? Yes. I did the research and watched Daniel, and I didn't really realize until here of late that Daniel Hill is an outstanding pass option. So, I think my question was answered with Daniel, but what do you think, Clint, about the rest of the guys? How do the rest of these young men fit into the passing game?
Yeah, I think that's a huge element, the screen game, and that's receiver screen game too. But, it's all a massive part of this Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb offense, and something that I don't think they, were able to utilize enough last year. I think fans will see it a lot more this year, but Daniel Hill certainly fits into that. Having the background is kind of being, he was playing wide receiver. He was playing some tight end, like they were playing a wildcat quarterback. He was doing everything. But I think Dre Washington, he's probably the most elusive in the open field. And now, granted, I'm more so when I talk about the running backs, a lot of the times I'm talking about those main three, not really including Kevin Riley or AK Deer until they actually start entering the conversation and we think they're actually going to be playing. So I just mean compared to Daniel Hill and Richard Young. I think Richard Young, I think that was a limitation for him. He didn't do it a whole lot in high school. I think he's worked hard to improve on that. I think he's a much further along as far as helping with the pass protection than he is the receiving, but he's also improved as a receiver, according to the coaching staff. I'll have to see it. I don't know for sure, but then priority is pass protection. So you would much rather him be in a much better place as far as that's concerned rather than the receiving side of it. But I think Alabama, between Daniel Hill and Dre Washington, I think they got a couple of capable guys. Can they do what Jam Miller can do as far as kind of, lining him up out wide, getting him in motion, creating some matchups, kind of in that Georgia game? I don't know if necessarily you might be able to do some of that with Daniel Hill. I'll have to wait and see. But, Jam, he provides something there that I think is a little bit different than the other guys. So I don't know how much it'll impact things, but I'm sure it will impact it to some extent.
Thanks.
Go ahead. Tell my fault.
I was just about to ask how much, even before the injury, was like running back by committee in the plan, do you think?
You know what? I definitely think there was going to be a committee. But here's the thing. When I say committee, I was curious to see. I think Jam was going to have a massive role. Like I was kind of projecting like 14, 15 carries, 2 or 3, at least targets a game. Was kind of where I was pegging him, and maybe, a little bit more depending on the situation. And if he was getting that type of workload and Ty Simpson was throwing the football to the extent that a lot of us are expecting him to, how much would have been left? Are you getting all the other guys, 3 or 4 carries and that's it? Or, so I was thinking, okay, it might be like more of a 2-headed monster, or maybe 3. I knew it wasn't going to be 4. That you're spreading yourself way too thin there. And so the thing about Jam Miller getting injured is that there were 4 guys who were really in the conversation for those touches. And so now you can kind of slot it and say, well, I don't think any of them is so much better than the other 2 that they're going to see a lion's share of the workload. So you'll probably see a pretty even amount of all 3, and they'll all 3 be involved in a variety of ways. I don't think there's limitations enough where if you have any guy on the field, you can't call certain things or do certain things. There might be guys who are better, but I think they're all, 3 down capable, I guess you'd say. So I do think you're going to see a committee approach for sure.
Fact.
Go ahead. My bad.
No, I was about to say, like, if I guess in best case scenario for you guys is if you guys can manage through these injuries, you get your starting running back late in the year with fresh legs when everybody else is tired and beat up. That would be great. for you guys, I guess.
I mean, that's a great point. Obviously, tread on the tires is always something you talk about with running backs, and this will be a situation where these guys have to grow up a little bit. The one thing about Jam is he's the one guy that you knew what you had. Now, I say that I don't even know if Alabama fans fully knew what they had in Jam Miller, because I just think the offense and the way that it operated with Jalen Milroe, with Nick Sheridan being the play caller, with the offensive line, their inability to create consistent movement, and the fact that Sheridan just would get away from the run for no reason at times. I don't think a lot of Alabama fans have this idea of what they believe Jam Miller is. I still don't think we've fully seen it. And that's another thing I was very excited to see this year. But, the one thing about him is that he was the experienced guy. You knew he could do it on the SEC level. Dre Washington, transfer. Daniel Hill, 20-ish career carries. Richard Young, 25 career carries-ish. So it's like, we can all assume what the running back room is going to look like. I think it's going to be productive. I think it's going to be, definitely good enough to hold things over. I don't know that for certain. I would have known a lot more about this running back room at Jam, been a part of it. And when he does come back, hopefully you will know some of these guys and kind of how you'll know the pieces a lot better, because they would have all been given the opportunities. And then you can kind of say, okay, do we give Jam that lion's share, or do we just slot him in as kind of part of this committee because, you don't want to re-injure him, or, some of these other guys are doing some good things, and just see how the pieces of the puzzle fit together. I think will be a lot. It can be really beneficial down the line.
I'm about to say one thing, when you come on here, Clint, you're not going to just talk about Alabama football. You're going to talk about college football, of course. And I know Ted's probably have some Auburn stuff he may want to add. But I seen today, I forgot the reporter name. I meant to write it down. Reported today that Auburn is taking claim to 4 national championships out of nowhere. Like that means anything. They turn it into UCF for 2017 or 16, one of them. Like, what's your thoughts on that, man? Just people just taking claims on championship. It's not even a dig at Auburn. Not just a dig at Auburn right now, Ted. I'm sorry. But I just thought it was hilarious. The timing couldn't have been better.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fun to troll, I'll tell you that. I haven't had as much fun with it today as probably I've just been really busy today. But Alabama there's definitely some that Alabama, and there's one in particular that they claim. It's like, I don't know. That's probably one I wouldn't. There's also some that they don't claim they probably should. But that's where the claiming, when you start laying claim to things that you didn't actually go out there and win. This is why it was so important that we started having a championship game where we can actually say, okay, how are we going to end up doing this? How are we going to determine a champion? The 93 one, the one where they were on probation, that's the one I probably had the biggest problem with, to be honest. And honestly, I don't even know about the rest of them, the situations. I haven't went to look into records, but I will say, I don't know. Part of me thinks it was a good troll thing by Auburn. I don't know if this was even like, does Auburn really want to claim all these, or is this just a great way right before the season to take a dig at Alabama? Because it's like, since Bama's been doing it for years, and now it's opened up the entire state to criticism. But at the same time, though, I've always been like let's look forward. And so, claim what you want to. I don't really care, because it's all about where things are at now.
Yeah, because the only thing, man, because I just thought it was funny, because you know how all our trophies that we had the years that we won the SEC championship, and we had the national championships on there. I was just trying to throw a little dig at Ted, because I thought that was hilarious. But I know one college football question. I did not see all these real quick. Hold on, let me get to these. Shout out to Kimberly for being a member for one month, but always been here since day one. Always support you, B Sharp. Much love. Of course, our good brother Patriot Life. Shout out to Rob, man.
Shout out to Rob.
Appreciate you for your service always, brother. He said, good evening, B Sharp, my broski, Tez. I think he was talking about you, Coach Sean and Clint.
Yeah, great broski.
Great to see you, man. And of course, one of my favorites, man. Latoya, appreciate you for always showing love for the $5. Definitely appreciate all your support and always being here whenever, because y'all guys could be spending y'all time anywhere else, but you choose to come here to support the channel and hear great information from Clint. But
much love to Patriot Life, man. Much love. And Coach J for reposting the stream. Coach J out there. Much love,
shout out
Coach
to Jans,
J, man.
We got to get Jans back on here.
Got to get Jans back on here.
It's getting close to football time.
Clint, if you ever want to see a real, genuine, from the heart rant and know football and know the game, man, Coach Jans, Jarek, 716. He's a huge Buffalo Bill fan. That's Jarek right there, man. That's our brother, man. Me and Jarek and I used to do Kyle's show, back in the day, a couple years ago. And Coach J is really, really highly thought of by us, man. Shout out to John, too. John's in the chat and all them boys from Bama Standard. Shout out to those guys as well.
But, yeah, man. The one thing I really wanted to ask you, too, Clint, we seen that Michigan in the NCAA, we've been waiting on this announcement for the longest. And I'm thinking the NCAA is going to come down hard on Michigan, like they came down on many other teams of the past. We seen how they done us after the Shula era, and they was laying down some. I thought we was gonna get some harsh. Only thing I seen is pretty much a slap on the wrist. Only thing they did was just pretty much just took money. I just want to know your thoughts on the landscape of college football, because I feel like after they just seen that, when you blatantly cheating from hand signals, I feel like it's about to be the wild, wild west out here. Well, I could be wrong.
The Big Ten's teaching us a couple things here recently. Cheat and schedule easy opponents.
Facts.
And I get for the longest, the SEC had been in control, and I think the Big Ten is in a very desperate place to pry away some of that power. And so from a competitive standpoint, you would hope they'd go about it the right way. Granted, I understand Michigan doesn't represent all of Big Ten country, but we'll get to the Indiana stuff, I'm sure. But as far as Michigan, it was just the NCAA should have pretty much just released a statement saying, guys, to be honest with you, we investigated. They did some stuff they shouldn't have done for sure. We can't do anything about it anymore. We don't hold the power that we used to. Instead, they just go this roundabout way of, inflicting a bunch of fines and things like that. Like, I mean, you could turn around to pretty much any school and say, hey, would you cut a check tomorrow for $20 million to guarantee a national championship? And I don't know if there's a Power 4 school that wouldn't write that check if you could actually guarantee it. I mean, they're willing to pay anything. And they'd say that they don't want to punish the current players. It's like, well, that's never affected you before. The only difference is they used to have some power and now they don't. So, while it's unfortunate, because I don't think that it was adequate punishment, the one benefit or silver lining that came from it is that, that the NCAA, this was their way of confirming that they are not what they once were. And it's only a matter of time before they're no longer in control of college football.
You know what they did to me? Clint stole my thunder. That is so accurate what he just said. I think they took the easy way out and said, you know what, let's just punish Jim. We'll give him a 10-year show cause. He's in the pros. He ain't coming back no time soon anyway. Believe it or not, 10 years will be up in a minute.
He's not coming back.
Facts, man. So, he's right, man. The NCAA, man, is college football, man. The only thing I can say to add to what Clint said is the college football that you all knew growing up, man, it's gone, brother. It's gone. I mean, I know we pick all the time with each other about USC's in the Big Ten. Now, the West Coast Bama is now neighbors with a school that's 2,000 miles away from them in Columbus, Ohio, right? So, but this really does tell you, man, when Michigan is blatantly caught to escape the way they did, how they did, it tells you the NCAA has lost its power, its grip, its It's big boy flavor, and college football is different right now.
So, can someone tell me what Jim Harbaugh did that was any worse than what Sharon Moore did?
Oh my God!
As far as deleting the messages, that's what doesn't make sense to me. Like nothing's been brought forward of, oh, Jim Harbaugh did this, and this is why he's got that show calls.
Yep.
That's that's just to further your point that it was all for show.
Hey, I'll take it a step further, man. I don't think that the NCAA has ever really cared about on-field cheating. Like when they have flexed their muscles, it's always on the kids for trying to better themselves and get money or whatever for whatever reason. Like when you think about college football, we know it's been happening. Come on now, like we know football, we know it's been happening. When have they ever come down on the school because of something they did on the field as far as like breaking the rules? Man, they don't care about that.
Bill Belichick's about to thrive, by the way.
Yeah, college football likes stories.
Yes.
This was good. Michigan winning was good for college football. Like they don't care about that, man. I don't think so. I don't think they ever really cared about anything like that.
You kept a whole region of people. Remember, man, the SEC, we go at each other, but the Southern schools, we like when one another wins, so we can beat our chest. This way, you keep a whole region of people, from north up, that you keep them interested in college football, and this thing is going to get bigger and bigger, man. The money at college football to me is becoming like AAU basketball right now. You got a couple of guys who handle, certain things, and these guys are the point men. For God's sakes, you got people getting in touch with coaches, shopping players on other rosters. So what happened with Michigan just falls right in line with what's going on today with everything else.
Well, it's something, I found interesting just about myself was, with everything that's been going on with the Big Ten, it really feels like, and I don't know if this is manufactured or organic and just the way the sport's moving, but it just has felt very SEC versus Big Ten as the focus rather than like SEC versus SEC. Like to me, I started thinking about it. It's like, man, anytime an SEC team plays a Big Ten team, I need to be pro SEC because right now the SEC, they're sitting on top of the throne. It is being threatened. It has been 2 years, and if it goes 3 years or whatever, it just continues to. The further you get away from that, the more difficult it is to retake control. So I found myself being like, thinking about the season, and I'm like, man, when Texas plays Ohio State, I need to be really pro Texas.
For Texas,
in Tennessee, and it's like you start thinking Tennessee, and then as I'm like, wait a minute, no, I'm not pulling for Auburn and Tennessee. But then I started thinking, I'm like, man, I wonder if this is kind of the point, is to create this regional pride through the Big Ten SEC rivalry. It has not been a rivalry, obviously, when the SEC is dominating everything. Yep. So, that's just something that I find really interesting is how they've done that. But I will say it has been kind of a breath of fresh air where it's like, I was worried that the SEC pride was slowly dwindling or going away, where this regional pride that you felt with college football was going away. But I just feel like in recent weeks or months and just the dialogue and the conversation, I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm kind of a lot more prideful to be SEC probably than I've ever been.
Yeah, you're right. I think a lot of what you see too is the two major media networks in sports going after each other. That's why it feels like a constant battle all the time, because you got ESPN and Fox, I guess it is, battling each other for that. So you see that going on, but you're right, man. I could see a world where we have these two large super conferences and we kind of just do this East Coast, West Coast thing. To the SEC, Greg Sankey's credit, like it's not regional no more, but the SEC is about as regional as you're gonna get in college football.
That's right.
Without going to like a lower tier conference.
That's right.
We don't have to travel to California in the SEC. We have to go out to Texas, but that's about as far as it gets. And then even in the outlying schools, there are still schools like within that region. So that like, you know what I mean? Like if you play Texas, they got Oklahoma there, so that's a game that's close to you. Texas A&M is there. It's like it's far away from Florida, of course, but still, like there's a group of teams in your region, well, in the vicinity that you don't have to travel as far to play. So I think SEC has an advantage in that point, and that's probably why ESPN is marketing everything to this region so heavy like that. But it's gonna be interesting, man.
I think so. I think so, bro, because I don't want the Big Ten to have Notre Dame, right? That is a big fish, and these guys, I don't know if people really know, but Notre Dame is a big fish for more reasons than one. When it comes to money, when it comes to eyeballs, when it comes to
tradition,
just sheer, command and respect when it comes to this market of popularity. Notre Dame has one hell of a following, man. Trust me.
They blue bloods for a reason.
Yeah, they do, man. When you go up in that I got several family members. That's where all my dad's family is from. He's from Chicago. If you are a college football fan in that part of the world, Notre Dame and Ohio State dominate that up there. And the fandom is very similar to here for those teams. It's very similar. So I can definitely see here sooner or later AFC, NFC type thing. USC is as West Coast as you get. In my upbringing, USC was very, very popular. They were, on the West Coast, they were the thing as far as college football go. Well, they're in the Big Ten now with Rutgers as their rival or confidant. East and West Coast. I mean, is it really a farther stretch anywhere in college football than it is from LA to New Jersey? Right. And these guys were in the same conference. So yeah, the Big Ten is doing some things for the future. And I just read where they're trying to talk about a 2018 playoff or something or another, even if it's all cap. They're trying to keep the Big Ten heart pumping. They're trying to steal the headlines. So I agree with Clint, man. I Lord knows, Tennessee is as horrible as to me as anybody, right? And I'm one of those fans. I hate Tennessee, bro, but I don't want them to lose to no Big Ten school, because that just furthers the grip of the Big Ten. Just like Clint said, it's been 2 years, man. We don't need a third.
And and I think at a certain point, it becomes, if you're South Carolina and you lose in the bowl game like they did to Brett Bielema, it's like that's not something that affects just South Carolina. That's a tally mark for the Big Ten over the SEC. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to convince people the SEC is dominant. It's way better than anywhere else you're going to get. And I still fully believe that, regardless of what happens necessarily on the field, which I know is counterintuitive, but it's like when you talk about NFL talent, when you talk about recruiting talent, when you talk about head coaches, I still don't think the Big Ten comes even close to touching the SEC. But at the same time, if on-field results reflect that, there is no argument. Right now, the SEC is saying, well, based off, I know that everything on the field says one thing, but we need to think about it differently and still say that that's why I think that all of these games are going to start mattering. And if you want that superiority over the other, the on-field results are what you got to have. So every time that and I don't want to do it, but it's got to be to a point where it's like, man, SEC was 14-3 against the Big Ten this year. Try to tell me that the Big Ten's better than the SEC. There's no argument there. It's like head to head in a football game. I mean, you can try to make an argument, but there's a reason that with in a lot of those situations, you're not winning if you don't have the head-to-head win. It's definitely going to be interesting how this kind of continues to transpire over the next couple of years.
Remember this too, Clint. These guys are going to automatically already have an upper hand on us because they're just quite frequently their schedules don't compare to ours, right? When you look at Ohio State's schedule, Penn State, they got a tough game against them. They got a tough game against Michigan. It's a rivalry game. Obviously opening with Texas. Out as far as in conference, man, that Michigan game, that Penn State game, these guys don't have a Florida, a Texas, Alabama, a LSU, their road as far as getting into a better record is going to be much easier. Don't look now, but Indiana, right? These guys, you know, they go what 10-2, I think was their regular season
11-1.
11-1
regular.
And it's like you're gonna have that in that conference, man. You're gonna have that, and that's why they want so bad the SEC to play another conference game, right? Just another tough game for us. So I agree with you 100%, man. These guys are already gonna have an upper hand as far as scheduling is concerned in conference. So we definitely, even the Tennessees and the Auburns, right? We definitely need, you know, these guys to win the football game. We need anytime you have that matchup, the SEC and Big Ten, no matter what type, if it's bowl game, if it's beginning of the season, because especially in the beginning of the season, because they'll use that, you know, the analysts will use that. The SEC talks about strength of schedule, well, such and such lost to such. They'll always sink their teeth into that and will not let it go, right?
I know. Since we're talking about good old Indiana, man, this is a perfect segue for one of the things that I wanted Clint to talk about, man. Of course, Kurt Setnetti up there at Indiana, their head coach, love to run his mouth and act like Indiana is just this blue blood, this big dog of the Big Ten when they know they just a bottom feeder of the NCAA, period, with the most losses in the history of the league. But they talking about we scheduling games, and then I'm glad that you posted this too, Clint, with Brent McMurphy. Shout out to him for their 2025 schedule. They got Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State. 2026 they got Howard. Shout out to the HBCUs, Colorado State, and Western Kentucky. Then 2027 they got Kennesaw State again, Indiana State, UMass. 28, Austin Peay, Miami, Ohio, Eastern Michigan. 2029, Ball State, Eastern Michigan, and Western Kentucky.
Clint killed him with that, man.
What are we gonna do here, man?
Well, the problem that this is exactly what I was arguing back when this conversation was taking place between, you know, Indiana and SMU and Alabama and South Carolina, and of course Miami being the ACC. They were in this conversation as well. It's like you're reinforcing poor product, and I don't understand that. I can't blame Indiana right now because they were awarded for doing it. They replaced Louisville, who actually had a pulse, with Western Illinois or someone like that at the last second, and that ended up helping them get to the college football playoff.
Facts.
Why would they want to do anything different? But my point back then was, okay, if you reward that, then you are rewarding other schools doing it too. And everybody's like, that's crazy. No one's going to do that. I'm telling you, you're trying to simultaneously say we reward easier schedules. Indiana example, and they're clearly showing you that they're going to keep doing it and doing it to the umph degree that they can. But SEC add a 9th conference game.
Facts.
Why in the world would they do that?
Right.
Like, you know, it's talking out both sides of your mouth. And it's like, I mean, at this point, make it 5 SEC games to go play all FCS opponents.
Exactly.
And put weeks in between them, in between your SEC games. Like, this is the frustrating part. And it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out when you reward bad behavior, more bad behavior will follow. And the more that Indiana makes it to the college football playoff doing this, everybody's saying, well, Indiana's not an annual contender and they're not a problem. They're not a problem. I agree with you. Every time they get to the college football playoff, they're going to get the mess kicked out of them. But the problem is that other schools that are just a little bit better than that are going to see that formula. And what I don't like about it is I got to go sit and watch Alabama versus Mercer more. I would rather do that less. Nothing against Mercer at all. But, I mean, it's like those are the games. It's like, man, you talk about what I would call a grind. I love this job, every minute of it. But waking up early on a Saturday and driving all the way to Tuscaloosa to watch Alabama beat up on Mercer by 50 points for an 11 a.m. kickoff, anytime I can watch Alabama, I'm going to enjoy it. But is that as enjoyable as playing LSU at night or Georgia or Florida State? Florida State's not great, but I will say it's a helmet game, and it's in Tallahassee. They certainly have a chance to win that football game. Me as someone that covers Alabama, I'm not going into that guaranteeing an Alabama victory, you know. This is one of my huge pet peeves is that people were arguing that it was all fine, put SMU in, put Indiana, better record. And the other thing that never made sense to me, and no one could ever answer it for me, if it's all about record, regardless of strength of schedule and all that, why in the world was Army not in this conversation? Because they were 11-1 at the time that this conversation was taking place, and they were down there in the teens. No one was even remotely considering. I said late teens. No one was considering them in the conversation. So it's like, oh well, you got to be in a Power 4 conference. Okay, well, just the whole thing is it needs to change fast, because if it doesn't, we're going to get just about 4 or 5 weeks out of the year where it's just terrible football being played.
Yeah.
I got the answer to that question, Clint. We talked about it on the show a while ago, me and Coach Sean. It's preseason rankings, man. We get rid of the preseason rankings. This is why you find Indiana creeping into the playoffs. This is why Army didn't make it, because they weren't high in preseason. They didn't start high enough.
Had too far to come.
Yeah, they had too far to go. With 11 team, just get rid of the preseason rankings. Look at the strength of schedules and resumes in week 8 and start there, and then introduce the human element. I guarantee you it would be much smoother than what we have right now. You won't have an Indiana up in there. You won't have any SMU, none of that.
That is completely fair. And it's one of those things where, but what you do by saying that, which I agree with you, is so it's not just about record. It's preseason perception. And I understand that in some people will argue, well, that benefits the SEC. When you've got 12, whatever it is, 10, 11, 12 teams in the top 25 from the SEC preseason. Yeah. I mean, I totally get where it would benefit the SEC as well. If people want to do away with that and it removes an advantage for the SEC, I'm still fine with that. But it's like, you've got to take into account what certain teams are doing when you only play one top 25 opponent and they kick the ever living mess out of you. And I will forever respect Ryan Day for this reason. Indiana was trying to make that close at the end and make it not seem as big of an ass whipping as it was, pardon my language. But Ryan Day said, we're not doing that. Everybody's going to know how bad this beating was. And he kept matching everything that they were doing. And I respect I very much respect that, because that was frustrating to watch. That, hey, they're still trying to do it. They're still trying to make the comparisons of, this team stayed this close with, and it's like, man, if you actually watch the game, it was not that close at all. And that you're just pitching a narrative at this point of your, revisionist history, I guess they'd say. It's frustrating, man.
Yeah. I know, man, before we get you up out of here, because I know you got stuff to do, man. It's getting close to college football. I seen this, man. Oh, Coach Sean, you're going to love this, man. You're going to love this. So we have a recruit. It's not nothing to do with Alabama. This is just how college football is just going, man. This is just funny to me. This young man, I think you pronounce it Isaiah Williams. My man committed to Louisville, decommitted, went to Syracuse, decommitted, went to Florida State, decommitted, went to Florida, flipped to Ole Miss, to flip back to Florida State.
He's done this time, though. He's done this time, right? This is what he's saying. Oh, man, I'm shutting down this time.
Well, he said he was shutting it down like around Florida time, man. Folks were like, oh, he's definitely about to flip, man. I remember, shout out to the guys on 3, man. They said, I don't think he's done. And it's still going, man. I just want to know your thoughts on this. And do you see them doing anything to, stop this? I don't know, man. I just think this is just blatant. It's just, I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, I think and granted, I don't know this for certain, but my hunch would be he's getting paid to commit. Some people are, and then he's collecting that pay to commit check. And then it's like, well, all right, well, who else is, he might make 7 figures just off of 37 different schools before it's all said and done. But
that's an interesting conversation right there.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. Well, people, they're getting paid for visits. They're getting paid for everything at this point. Facts. There are guys that are, hey, yeah, I'm committed to you, but I'm going to take these other visits because they'll send me a check to do it. And so that's a massive problem. I think you let guys sign early. I think that's what you have to do. And granted, especially if the transfer portal is continuing to be a thing. Like, okay, he signs, he's locked into you. It's a bigger hurdle for him to leave, but it's not like he can't leave. It just makes the process a lot more difficult. Let them sign early at this point. If you're committed, commit. Sign your name on the dotted line, get yourself a contract. Now, here's the thing. Once you start implementing those contracts, then it's not as simple as, hey, I'm just going to pack my bags and leave. But that's the way it needs to be. If I sign with someone tomorrow, I'm not going to go 2 weeks later and say, you know what, I decided I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm locked in. I mean, there's non-competes for a reason. I understand that the athletes have a lot of flexibility now, but that's a perfect example of absolute chaos.
Yes.
And the more that you see of that, I mean, and what I will say is one of the beautiful things about college football compared to the NFL, MLB, or anywhere else is that kids pick your school. Recruiting is such a massive part of the conversation. It's an exciting factor. Right now, you've got fans saying, I don't give two craps about recruiting anymore because I don't know who's going to be on the roster for how long you're going to stick around, and will you even actually end up signing in the first place? And for someone, I grew up, I mean, I can remember when Rivals was the only thing around, and I was in business tech essentials class in the 9th grade, and I was jumping on the computer and researching recruits and stuff that were signing with Alabama, and just, I knew everything about everybody and I loved it. I do this now because it's my job. There's no other reason to do it otherwise, unless you're just that passionate about it and it's something that you don't want to let go. You've got to do something to keep that aspect, because I just think it's such a beautiful element of the sport.
Clint, man, I know you got to go, brother. I didn't want to tell you thank you, man, just for even coming up here, man, giving us your time or whatnot, man. Always giving us your insight, always giving us A1 quality, always, man. Appreciate everything you and Nick Gillespie. Shout out to him, man. I always forget to shout him out, man. You guys doing great work, and Jay Coker. So, man, keep doing great things, man. We'll definitely get you back on here for a longer time when you had a time.
Yeah, that's something. First of all, I love doing this stuff with you guys. I love just, I get to just talk ball with you guys. It's not, I feel like I say the same thing regarding Bama 37,000 times, especially during the off season where it's a lot of projecting, and it's just, I almost get into a routine with answers. But with, getting on to hop on here and kind of go down some of these lanes, I think it's great. I would love to join y'all during the season, and we can react to some actual game stuff. I will definitely set something up, brother, because as far as shows that I'm willing to go on and have fun going on, this definitely tops the list, man. So I appreciate y'all.
Oh,
thank
man,
you,
definitely
appreciate you,
man. Appreciate you, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, man. Stay in touch, man. We'll figure out that, because we just don't like to just talk about one particular team. We like college football, period.
I love it, man. Appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all soon.
Appreciate you, Clint. Much love to Clint, man. Much love for sure, B Sharp. Really, really, really enjoy Clint. Make sure everybody in the chat goes tap in with Clint on Twitter, all his socials, man. Make sure you tap in with Clint, subscribe to him, subscribe to their YouTube channel, follow him on all his social medias, man. For him to take his time and come over here and chop it up with us, man. We all are very appreciative of that from him. Shout out to Clint Lamb, man.
And if you can find his Twitter is at Clint R Lamb. So make sure you guys go over there, man. Definitely, like I said, man, we'll definitely give you great insight and definitely troll a lot of people, especially with this Indiana stuff, man. Clint is one of my favorite people on Twitter. But
I was going to tell him, I'm sorry,
Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
I was going to tell him that Clint was right. That's why I do respect Ohio State for that, because they definitely try to do that. But if you look at when Clemson played SMU, Clemson was beating their asses. Like, man, the game wasn't even close, man. Right? And then the last 7 minutes of the game, they let SMU score. Like, the lead was so big, they let them score like 2 or 3 touchdowns, man, and make the game be close. And then after the game was over, Dabo was like, see, that's a top team right there. Boy, if you don't get your man, come on,
man,
stop it.
You already know, man. That type of stuff. Like, I understand when Tez be like, oh man, drop them rankings. I understand that, but I think it's just a hype factor around when you see that 1 and you see that 2. It's just like 5 stars, 4-star, 3-star. When you see that 5-star, it look like that Porsche. That thing look real nice. You see that 2-star, look like a Pinto.
Yeah.
So it just It just
But that's all
wild
it's there
factor.
for. Is for how it look. It really don't serve no purpose for real. They don't get no
Yeah.
trophy for it. There's
Yeah.
no certificate.
No, let me get these.
I think it's
shout
going
out-
down in the chat, man. I don't know.
Oh yeah, man. It'd be like the Royal Rumble in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. If you on Twitter or Facebook, man, make your way over here to the YouTube channel, Sharpshooter Sports Talk. Make sure you guys subscribe. We about to be on still for a little while. That's why I said make sure you guys come over here and subscribe. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to Just My Humble Opinion YouTube channel. That's Coach Sean and SC Season. Tez has content, ladies and gentlemen. Tez has content. And guess what? He got Auburn people mad at him because he's posting about SEC stuff. And it's not just Auburn. That's a shot at somebody.
Ted's got some videos up.
It's just some shorts,
it's
man.
just
like
some shorts.
Oh, I'm finna head as soon as we get off. I ain't notification.
It's like a bunch of trivia questions and stuff. If you
I'm actually trolling somebody when I say that. And Ted's understand where I'm going with this. And I hope that person is in here. It's an SEC channel. It's not an Auburn channel. But shout out to Miss Susan for becoming a member. Always showing love as always. Thank you, Miss Susan, for always showing love to the channel. And hopefully I can deliver on my end by giving you guys some awesome content, and definitely will be giving some stuff to you guys later on down the line. Hold me to that, because I got something in the works for you guys. And Gelato, what's going on, my brother? Roll Tide, guys, great show. Oh man, appreciate it, man. Like I said, man, when you got Clint on here, man, it can go either way. Appreciate you guys supporting and bring your tithes and offering to the channel, man. Showing love, man. Let me just shout out some of the people that's in the chat, man, because we only had Clint on for a little while, y'all. So forgive me for not shouting you guys out. Of course, Miss Susan, Stacy Go Dog. We got Nick over here from the Water Cooler Talk Sports. What's going on, man? Make sure you guys subscribe to those brothers Auburn channel. Like I said, everybody makes mistakes in life. DSGB, what's going on up in here? My boy Bobby up in this thing, Florida Gator guy. Oh man, he makes mistakes in life too, man. He tells the quarterback to stay healthy. Shout out to DJ Ladway. Of course, Latoya up in this thing. Piano Man up in this thing. Me up in this thing. What's going on, man? Good to see everybody up in here. And of course, I forgot to do this for Delano. Hey man, when you give money, I gotta give you the sounds, man. He's
got his own money. And baby, when I tell you he's got his own money, I mean the boy has got his own money.
Hey man, it felt like mine moving a little slow. I don't know why, but it's all good. Shout out to y'all, man. But let's get back right into it, man. Yeah, man. With everything, like how that's setting up, man, with Indiana and Kurt said, nigga, he likes to talk crazy, man. Like Indiana is just some bit dogs or whatnot. And if like Clint said, man, if that formula keeps going that way, man, everybody's gonna follow that formula. It's a copycat league. It's just like the NFL. They see you, if it's working and you getting away with it, why would I schedule, like Alabama got to play Ohio State for a 2-game series? We got to play up there one year and they got to come down here. What's the point of playing those games if it's not going to be beneficial to us at the end?
But the problem is that only the Big Ten and ACC, only those other, the SEC can't do that. Like the SEC can't put together a schedule like Indiana schedule and within the conference. You see what I'm saying? When these other teams be like, y'all don't be playing nobody non-conference, I just be like, we playing y'all. What do y'all think? Y'all are the non-conference. Like, so in the SEC, you can't put together a schedule with one ranked team on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't get
They'll ridicule us. Facts.
I'm saying, but you couldn't. It's impossible. It's impossible to pick 8 SEC teams, put them on your schedule, and only have one ranked team on there. You can't do it. So the SEC will never have a schedule that's easy because it's just a better conference altogether. So yeah, you never get a schedule like Indiana where they just got Ohio State and then a bunch of no names.
I think that's facts too, man.
And shout out to Coach Al, our good brother up in the chat, man. Coach Al, what's going on? Jackson State alum.
Yes, sir.
And also everybody, man. I had this idea, gentlemen. I said it on Twitter this morning because I was just like, man, I really need to do this, of course. And with Coach Al just being right there, all of us being HBCU guys, man, I said at least one time a week, may just have a show. Just for like 1 hour, man, just talking HBCU ball, man.
Need to get JB on here too, Brinsky, because you know he support Bama State with Susan. He got that black and gold show.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. So definitely see what JB got going on. JB. Man. And hopefully get other guys on here, man. See talking that HBCU ball. Who sweat?
You ain't sweat.
You ain't sweat. Man, that may be
sweat.
Man, that may have been the funniest thing ever that Prime ever did, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, bro, and I was at that game, bro, and I was just like, it was just crazy to see like how that was. I was like, man, what's going on the field? And like we in the middle of the 50-yard line, bro. I was over there dying laughing, man. Especially, bro, he ain't swag, I'm swag.
I've never seen a situation like that where I actually respected both sides of it. Like Barlow, he's standing up for his, you know what I mean? Not Barlow, but he's standing up for his conference. Ed Robinson standing up for his conference, man. He's been here for a while. You know what I mean?
He was the man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like I get why he said that, but then I totally understand why Deion said that too. Like it's kind of what you want, right? I enjoyed it when Deion was in the SWAC and you got other coaches that actually wanted to go up and be competitive and not just lay down and say, oh man, they brought all these people and the cameras and all that, and like actually go compete. Yeah. I wish they had more of that without, you know, you don't need a famous coach to have that type of energy in the league, is what I'm saying. And put it on TV. I want to see it. I want to see A&M and Alabama State coach go at it at midfield.
Yeah, man, because I know what was Alabama A&M head coach before, man.
Which one? Cornell Maynard?
The one that got into it with Prime.
Cornell Maynard.
Yeah, man. I always liked him. And then I was just like, man, shoot, man. He was trolling Prime. I was like, that's what I like. That's what I like, man, right here, man. We all don't need to be friends. And then he left the scooter right there in the middle of the field, man. That was beautiful, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was
top tier trolling right there.
Brother was on the sideline that game, bro. Hey, before you get the super chat, big shout out to Coach Al, who back in the business, man. Back coaching from the sideline, doing this thing, man. You know, I envy you, bro. I was out there with Bob Jones yesterday, man, and I miss it, bro. Shout out to my brothers, Brad. Shout out to Carrier. Shout out to Diedrich. Shout out to all my coaches out there. And big shout out to our girl, Lisa Fitzhugh. Lisa in the chat. Much love to Lisa as always.
Oh, yeah, man. Definitely appreciate Lisa. And, of course, you already know, got that tie to towel. Got that tie to towel. Just let it wave in your face.
Yes,
let it wave in your face. I got to get that one with the Bear Bryant with the black with the stripes on it, with the checkerboards. I forgot how you
houndstooth.
What you call it?
Houndstooth.
Houndstooth. There you go. Got to get that one. That one was really nice. But shout out to Gelato with $4.99. He said, "Did you guys see what Stephen A. said about Bama? What did he say?"
No, about Coach Prime, I believe. You know, I think he talking about when he said about Coach Prime. If the board failed, Coach Prime need to come to Bama.
No.
I know he said that. I don't know if that's what he's talking about, but I know he said that.
Listen, man, I love Prime.
Yeah.
I know Prime would be ready for Bama. I don't think Bama would be ready for Prime.
Facts.
That's the difference. And I'm gonna go as far as that. You can read in between the lines with that. That's why I said it's just like the same thing with Auburn. Auburn is not ready for Prime for certain, but we all know. And I think we don't need to say too much. But shout out to our brother,
Ready Rock.
Bama Brand. What's going on with the 1999?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, my brother. He said every team on the schedule getting belt.
Facts.
Starting with the Florida State Cinnamon Roll.
Hey, facts, bro. I love that. I love that. Because they doing a little too much talking, Ready Rock. They doing a little too much talking, man. They feeling themselves right now. 2-10. I get it. Last year, I get it. We need to put belt to that ass the first game to send a message to the world. We here.
And just let y'all already know, man. Y'all already know the tide is here, man. Y'all already know.
Everybody get your roll on. Everybody get your roll on.
I love that.
Gotta get your roll on. You already know.
And Trevor Peniel.
I
will be there. I will be there, Trevor Peniel. Special interest in that game. Got coaches, friends on both sides of that game. I will be there. My daughter will be participating in the cheerleader activities. So I will be there in full effect, man.
And of course, September 6th is gonna be a movie in Skiggy, man. First night game ever.
Yeah, man.
First night game ever. No 1:00 game for me, Tez. Shout out to Bobby for writing that. He already know. We talked about it today, man. To just walk into that stadium at night and see a football game. I may not leave out the stadium till like 4 a.m. I don't know, man. It's about to be crazy. I don't know what to expect. But if you ain't never been to ski before, man, I suggest you be at that game. That's gonna be a movie. The first one, that's gonna probably be bigger than Homecoming. I don't know. I'm expecting. I'm gonna put it like this, Tez. Give me an over and under. I'm saying 20,000. What you say?
I say over 20,000. I say it looked like Homecoming.
Yeah, I said over 20,000 too. One of my cousin is not convinced. He don't even believe it's gonna be 10,000.
It might rival Homecoming this year.
I believe it will.
Because of all the rules and like how people getting turned off about certain things. Yeah, but people want to see that night game. I tell you this, man, that game, we gonna have some people that's gonna have to be carted out the stadium. If you know that Tuskegee crowd and how lit they get for a 1:00 kickoff. Now, if you get those people to 6 p.m. to pregame, it's gonna be different, man. It's gonna be different. They never done that before. They never had that much time on their hand to sit and just pregame all day and then go out there at 6 o'clock with that ski crowd. Oh man,
we always got negative people in the chat, man. You always got negative people. They good people, but they just negative. And JJ is one of those people. That first night game, and he said we're gonna lose on the first night game.
Who y'all play?
Good question.
That's a great question. It don't matter. It's at night.
Who they play, JJ?
I was more excited about going to the game. Yeah,
look, JJ.
Who don't matter? It's gonna be dog. It don't.
It's just gonna be dog. Man, that's just negative. I just want to remind JJ love Alabama State. Ask Alabama State who they first game that they wanted to open their new stadium with on Turkey Day. They decided, we just gonna open the stadium up on our good old rival Tuskegee University. First game
Is that
in
who
the
y'all played
stadium.
the first game?
Literally their first game ever in that stadium was against Tuskegee, and they took a L.
Yeah.
Who do y'all play on that first night game though?
Oh, Ted's looking it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You play Central State.
Central State.
Oh man, we got to come out with a win, man. We got to come out with a win.
Yeah, we mopping them up.
Y'all should mop them.
Yeah, man.
Who said that? JJ? I'm taking bets on that one, man. If you feel strongly about that.
Hey, before you get that super chat, I know you're finna get that super chat.
Go ahead.
Brothers, big shout out to Tuskegee, man. First night game. That's gonna be crazy. I never realized. I mean, it's been so long, man, because we used to play there. We used to play there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even realize that they didn't have. I didn't even realize that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Didn't realize that at all. But if we talking HBCUs, man, big shout out to Coach Sam Shade. Met him in person. Big shout out to Coach Sam, Alabama A&M University. Y'all tap in with Alabama A&M Athletics on Twitter and look at that dog days, boy. We got our own series, you know what I'm saying? Doing big things, man. Shout out to them, boy. Shout out to AC Carter, man. Former Bama player, former number 2, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to AC Carter, you know, wide receivers coach, man, doing things around the hill. Travis Panetta already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be up in the house, man. We got Arkansas. We might get our asses knocked out the first game. It's okay. It's okay, right? We're going to come back and put belt to asses.
I got an upset for y'all.
I'm going to speak it into existence, too. We're going to beat the brakes off Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to come back home against Alcorn State the first game in front of about 30,000 and whip their asses. B2A all damn day. And that rhyming, I didn't even try to make it rhyme.
Marcus say easy dub, man. I hope so, man. And definitely shout out to Alabama A&M, man. I think they had their biggest freshman class ever.
Yes, sir.
2000.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, just seeing the picture of it was crazy.
Yeah, man. They you know, it's crazy because when you look at the student body, 10,000 people, man, that's crazy. 9,800 folks. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like double when I was there. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. JJ said, Coach, so I'm going to be. Hey, JJ, holler at me, bro. You got my number. Holler at me, man. We'll link up, bro. I'm gonna take you and ask Coach Carl. I'll take you and introduce you to some very good people. Some very good people. Lots of adult beverages, lots of great food. You know what I mean? Lots of great
I like
food.
one of those beverages.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, okay, we're gonna make a plan. Tez, y'all doing the tent down there at Magic City?
We probably do classic, yeah.
Man,
okay. I know Coach Turner's gonna be there.
Yeah.
I'm going to the classic, man. I'm making it my duty. I'm making it my duty. I haven't been to the Magic City Classic since I was a senior in high school.
Let me know, bro. We have a spot every year. You know what I mean?
That's him too.
Yeah, and
I'm there.
I'll take y'all to the Mason tent. My Mason Lodge have a tent, huge tent, one of the biggest down there. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of food you want, all the adult beverages are free. You know what I mean? Bring you a thermos. That's what I tell people. Bring you a thermos, bro. And music is, the stage is right here next to us. The cue's right next to. We just have a jolly old time. So you got to make sure that you tap in with your boy. Coach Carl will tell you. I got all the connects when it comes to this.
You got to tell me. I know. Shout out to Jelano again, man. Showing out tonight, man. Definitely appreciate it. Greatly appreciate, man. You showing love, man. Great. But it said, can you guys give us a prediction on how the SEC will shape out? Man, matter of fact, shout out to Piano Man with this, because he had the it was something that Josh Pate had on his show. It wasn't something that he had on his show, but he had the predictions, and I think it was Alabama versus Texas for the SEC championship, and he had Alabama winning, I believe, or whatnot. It's going to be crazy in this SEC this year, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I can't even tell you. I feel like if Alabama can get past Georgia, I really believe we can make it to Atlanta. I really believe we can make it to Atlanta. So it all depends if we get past that game. If we do fumble a game on the road. I'm about to say we'll still be there. I believe Texas has a tough road too. They got to go to Ohio State. They got to go to Florida down in the swamp, and they got to go to Georgia. So it's going to be tough for them. Texas A&M going to have a somewhat outside of the Notre Dame game, which is not an SEC game. The only game they really, really got to see on the road is Texas, if I'm not mistaken. So this is one of their best chances to like really, really go out there. They have the guys on the defense. I really like the guys that they have in the secondary. I like the receivers. I like the quarterback, Marcel Reed. They have the running back. They definitely have the coach. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Of course, I'm gonna go with Bama, but just to be unbiased, I will say I'll say Texas. It could be a Texas Georgia rematch, to be honest. It could set up that way. I'll just say that without saying Alabama.
For me personally, I'll stick with it till I see something different. I mean, Texas got an easy schedule. They may make it by sheer, I ain't gonna say easy schedule, but their schedule is a lot easier than most top-notch SEC football teams.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna stick with Alabama and Georgia. Man. I still think the loser of Alabama and Georgia is still gonna be in it. I think Alabama and Georgia both could end up at 10-2 or 11-1. I'm not gonna get Texas that love yet until they show me that they can actually get into the game and win it. I still gonna go with Alabama and Georgia. I know we got a rough 5 games. That's gonna be tough. I think Alabama's defense is gonna put them over the top this year. With all the personnel that we have back on the defensive side of the ball, I really believe this is the season that Alabama reminds everyone who they are. The last time we had this much talent on defense, we made it to the national championship. So I'm going with Bama, man. I'm going with Bama. The offense just needs to hold steady. Don't turn the ball over. I think Ryan Grubb brings us logical play calling on third down, not having us run high lows on 3rd and 2 and getting sacked. You know what I'm saying? 4-man, 5-man protections, and they bringing blitzes and we getting our asses sacked. You know what I'm saying? I think this coach brings us logical play calling on 3rd and short. I think he has a play script on offense for 3rd down play calls, not just pulling plays and running quarterback counter read every time we get in trouble. I think Alabama and Georgia goes back to the SEC championship again. I really believe that. Don't read too much into who wins or loses that game. I think these two teams will circle the wagons and meet each other again in Atlanta. I think it's the same old. People say Bama down. I want people to understand this, man. All Alabama haters, like, really understand. If you Georgia, if you're Tennessee, if you're Auburn, not necessarily Auburn, but if you imagine your head coach leaving, imagine about 38 to 40 plus players leaving. Imagine your compliance officers leaving, your assistant staff, everybody leaving, and you still win 9 out of 12 games, man. If you don't think Alabama going to be better than this year, you're lying to yourself, and you just a fanned out ridiculous goof, period. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is Alabama's got a better play caller. Alabama has a lot of experience on both sides of the football. Alabama's schedule lines up with home games this year to where we will be in the conversation. Believe that. Bama and Georgia, SEC championship.
Give me one that is not Bama
in the SEC championship.
Yeah, that you can see being there, because of course we feel
LSU.
Great.
LSU.
Woo!
LSU, man. LSU got, to me, was the best quarterback in the in the country. Garrett Nussmeier. Yeah, they defense was sucked last year, right? They were in every game besides ours and maybe one other. I think they won 10 games last year with a sucky defense. You know what I mean? The man threw for 4,000 yards. Easily could have been in the Heisman conversation. The team had done better with his stats, right? Again, fellas, their defense was bad last year and they won 10 games. So they got a lot of people back. They keep wide receivers. They got a big game, the first game of the season, big one. Everybody talking about Clemson, me included, right? And Clemson will have more experience than most teams they play. But again, Clemson lost to three different SEC schools last year. Not saying they will this year, right? Because they got a gang of people back. But again, they got beat by Georgia in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
They got beat by South Carolina at the end of the season. They got beat by Texas in the playoffs. All three SEC squads. So LSU will pose a challenge for them. LSU will pose a challenge for them. I think Clemson has a better football team with returning starters because their defense, unlike LSU's, is going to be damn good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Cade Klubnik is going to be great. I don't think he's going to be better than Garrett Nussmeier, though. LSU will win a lot of games because of that quarterback. We all know how it is when you have a third, fourth, fifth year quarterback who's been starting for that long.
Mm-hmm. You're right about that one. Tez, before I go to you, also, everybody, hopefully soon, shout out to our brother KB. Hopefully KB will be back on these YouTube streets very, very soon. Hopefully he can get his channel back and he'll be back on here. But until then, if you're not following him on TikTok, make sure you guys go follow him on TikTok. Shout out to KB. All love over here, brother. You already know, man. So definitely shout out to KB. And I just seen Kim put something in the chat, said KB will be going live tomorrow on TikTok. So make sure you guys, I'm guessing at his regular time that he normally, I think it was like 7 or 6, maybe 6 o'clock, I think, Central Time. Kim, you can post it in the chat or whatever. But definitely shout out to KB, man. Just gotta always show the brother love.
Right.
But Ted, give me your predictions.
So I say I did. It's funny. I did. I ranked the whole SEC 1 through 16 that I'm gonna talk about on my channel later. But I just talk about the top of it, man. It says for me, I think I'm looking at 3 teams. That's Georgia, LSU, and Texas A&M. I think those 3 teams, to me, and it's not a shout to any of the other teams, but like I said, I'm big on coaching. Kirby's the only person that's won this league, that's coaching in this league, the only one with a national championship. They got quarterback issues. With people are not in love with Gunnar Stockton, but they wasn't in love with Stetson Bennett either. They wasn't in love with Carson Beck either. Gunnar Stockton's a former 5-star prospect, so like there's a lot of schools that wanted this kid on their football team. So I just think that they. I mean, I know y'all not gonna like this, but they, as far as championships in recent history, they've been the standard. Then you got LSU up under there, who I think was a running game away from competing for the SEC last year. If LSU can run the ball, I think that this team is going to be scary. Got a quarterback that's going to throw for 4,000 yards. We know he can do it. He did it before. They're going to do that again. Brian Kelly has coached a lot of football.
Yeah.
So I got mixed feelings about Brian Kelly sometimes, but he's coached a lot of football. It's not his first go around, and he's won doing it. So I can see LSU competing for that Georgia LSU, and then Texas A&M would be my dark horse because they got a lot of talent on that team. Mike Elko is gonna get that defense together. Like that's not. It's too much talent on that side of the ball for a defensive guy not to get it together. The linebacker core is very, very talented with Scooby Williams and York. The secondary is talented. And on the offensive side of the ball, don't be surprised if you look up in Texas A&M lead the SEC in rushing between Marcel Reed, Le'Veon Moss, and the other back that they have. They could very well lead the SEC in rushing this year. With that defense, is a recipe for 11 games, 10 games. Like Brinsky said, after that, they got that Notre Dame game, which is out of conference. But after that, the rest of those games pretty winnable. Even the Texas game. I know Texas fans, they love Arch Manning. They think they're going to be dominant this year. But listen, you might lose that game to Texas A&M at the end of the year. If that team comes out and it is the team that I think they're going to be, where they're playing stout defense and they can run the ball on anybody, that's not going to be an easy win come late November, man. It's just not. So, yeah, those are the 3 teams that I got right now. as far as my favorite teams to win this thing is Georgia, LSU, and Texas A&M. If I had to bet any money on it right now, that's who I would go with. Now it's subject to change. Now week by week, you see how teams look, and then you change your mind. But right now, I got Georgia, LSU, Texas A&M.
Damn, man, y'all really high on not Texas A&M, LSU. The only thing I have against LSU, I'm not worried about the offense. I'm worried about the defense more than anything. It's too young. I believe in Corey Raymond, easily one of the best DB coaches in the country. I like DJ Pickett, 5-star cornerback on that side. He gonna really do wonders over there. He probably be that next one at LSU. I just don't know about that defense. It's just that's the only thing. If they defense step up this year, then they'll definitely be in there.
That's fair.
That's the only thing I'm worried about when it comes to them. That's really all it comes down to. But
let me ask you guys this.
Go ahead.
Like not as a fan, but as a real football person. In the SEC championship game, say Alabama make it. Say Alabama made it last year. Well, I guess I can't ask that because he's starting now. Okay, let's ask it this way. Let's say Ty start. Ty have a great season. Ty gets hurt in the SEC championship game. Do you think Austin Mack could come off the bench and beat a top-ranked team in the SEC championship game? Texas or Georgia?
I can't say. I don't think so.
Because I watched Gunnar Stockton didn't play all season. Not for real.
Mm-hmm.
Come into a game against Texas and played well enough, threw for like 240 to beat Texas. So people don't like him down there in Georgia because they hadn't seen it yet, right? He's not flashy. He isn't 6'4". He
got a receding hairline.
He got a receding hairline. He looked like he's 36.
Yeah, he looked old. That's what.
Look like he got a whole mortgage, right? The kid can play, bro. I watched this kid come off the sideline and beat another top-ranked squad. That's got to count for something. Sure, he lost to Notre Dame. They played a lot of zone on him, but this was a kid that was in his second start, right? Not a lot of kids in their second start would have beat that team. So all I'm telling you, bro, is don't get caught up in, and as far as LSU, I can't stand LSU, right? Coach Al, shout out to my brother, Coach Al. Yeah, he 30 years. Yeah, exactly. 30 years old. Shout out to Justin and everybody at Bama Standard, man. John, all the homies over there, Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's right. He's 30 years old, look like he got a 401k, a whole mortgage, right? The kid, he should have kept the long hair. But let me say this, man, about LSU. Shout out to Coach Al, too. He can't stand LSU, right? I seen Jay Mims, and Jay Mims is right. Everybody giving love to them, but this is all I'll say, bro. They had the third worst defense in the league last year, right? They had the fifth worst defense in the league the year before that. And yes, Bama been beating them, right? But unlike us, who will have a big win, right? We had the ultimate win and the ultimate loss, all a week apart from each other. So it's about the duration of the season. Sure, they could lose to Alabama, right? But what are they going to do the rest of the season? I will always pick the teams with the returning quarterbacks. That's just me. Right, wrong, or indifferent. If you do a Google search, the teams with the returning quarterbacks seem to always get it done. As Gunnar, what's my man from Texas last year who played the Dolphins right now? What's his name? He played the Dolphins right now. He was Texas quarterback last year. Quinn Ewers. Yeah. Ask my man from Notre Dame, who ain't flashy, right? But he been there for 13 years, right? The teams with the returning quarterbacks will always have we had the opportunity. Jalen Milroe, we made it to the playoffs with Jalen Milroe and lost to a cheating ass Michigan team. We had the tools to make it there.
That's a good
so that's
point.
just me. That's just what we disagree at. I will never, regardless of what Bama does against a team, I will never cast the team out until I see them lose. That LSU team was not great last year. and they still won 10 games, man. 10, right?
Man.
That same QB is back. And Coach Al said he heard their offensive line was struggling. I get it. And you're right. If they don't have that together, it's out the window anyway. But as far as the defense is concerned, I watched that defense struggle for 2 years. And that team still managed to win 9, 10 games. They got several people back in the secondary, right? They got a returning quarterback. They're going to keep top receivers. Don't figure just because they lost some receivers, they're going to go away. Bro, we'll see. We'll see.
And what's the receiver? Anderson? Aaron Anderson?
Yeah. Aaron Anderson, a dog, man.
You talking about he may be the Heisman Trophy candidate.
And I think they got
when it's all said and done, he may be
Barian Brown, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah.
That boy's fast as lightning for Kentucky. That boy was fast, and they got him too. So
you gotta ask yourself.
We'll see.
Do you understand how good of a team they would be if they had a defense? If they had any sort of defense, you got a 4,000-yard quarterback. Like you said, you winning 10 games with no defense. If they had any ounce of defense, we wouldn't even be talking about this whole list. You're like, oh, it's LSU.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be a question. Oh, it's LSU. Got a 4,000-yard quarterback coming back with a defense. It's them.
Yeah.
It's the only question.
I hear you. I hear Jay Mills make some great points. You know what I'm saying? And I hear you. And we're right there with Brinsky. Great points, right? But my point to counteract that is I agree with you, but I watched this team have those same deficiencies and still win 10 games. Could have easily been 12 games. We was the only team that really thumped them like that. Nobody else beat them like that. So
then we got our ass whooped the very next week.
Exactly. So it happens, bro. You know what I mean? What do you do over the duration of the SEC season? We'll see.
Yeah, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting, man, with LSU. Of course, I don't particularly care too much about their head coach. I feel like he's overrated in a lot of ways. But he got one of the best recruits in the country. I'm still pissed off about that. But definitely shout out to Dylan. But LSU defense is gonna go back to being LSU defense. It's definitely gonna be better than last year. I really believe that, especially with Harold Perkins back there coming off that edge. He's gonna show why he was one of those guys he would have left if he stayed healthy the whole offseason. But man, in due time, man, we're gonna really see. I think we got time for one more question, or is it any other thing y'all want to talk about before we get up out of here?
Last one. Who in the national championship next year? This football season. Who is in the national championship? Your two teams.
Who already? Let's see.
Already. That's what makes it even better.
As a matter of fact, I think next week it's gonna be really officially kicking off. I think it's week 0 this week and then week 1 next week. So I really had that. But as of right now, I'm gonna give you one. But go ahead, Tez. I feel like you had one already ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to just pick, I'm gonna go with Georgia. I'm gonna go with Georgia Clemson national championship. Georgia Clemson national championship.
That's a good pick.
Woo! Hey, I kind of like that one. I ain't gonna lie. But no, you go ahead, Coach Sean, because I still don't know.
I'm gonna go with Clemson. I'm gonna pick Clemson by sheer they're gonna win the ACC. They could go in the ACC with their hand tied behind their damn back. They're gonna win that league again. Facts. Mm-hmm. And I may have to go. Oh man, that's tough. The fan in me want to say Bama, but I don't know if we quite there yet. I will say Clemson versus I ain't going with Penn State. That quarterback ain't gonna make it. I go with man, I just don't know. I think Clemson's gonna be there. I just don't know who the other team is, man.
If Penn State win the Big Ten and they get a bye week, they might be able to make it.
Facts, Justin. Facts, man. You want to put Penn State because hell, you got I don't know, you got the best running back tandem in the country.
Mm-hmm.
You got a quarterback who's played 200 college football games. You have a great defense. You got a great secondary. You got great coaches. But he always finds a way to lose a game he shouldn't. I mean, I just don't know, man. Okay, I'm gonna go Clemson and Penn State. Clemson and Penn State. I'm just gonna go for it. Clemson and Penn State.
Clemson, Penn State.
Yeah. Clemson gonna be there though. I just believe it. I believe this is the team that is going to go back there.
Let's see. Yeah. Bama. It said Bama, Michigan. You think Michigan get out the Big Ten? No, I think he left. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about Bama, Michigan. I don't know if Michigan get out the Big Ten.
Yeah, I don't think Michigan gets out the Big. I think Michigan have a couple losses this year. They got a freshman quarterback. I don't see it. You know, Penn State should be there. Let's just say it that way. Don't know if they will. You got a veteran. This Penn State is just like Michigan was 2 years ago. Everybody came back. You got a veteran team. You got veterans all over that team in Pennsylvania. You should be there, man. And like Brett and Rock say, they might be already done maxed out. The quarterback is definitely maxed out, right? That's true, man. Right? He's not going to get any better. But I guess my point is
they don't ask a lot of him though.
Right.
They know he's limited.
In the framework of college football, Penn State should be there. You got veterans everywhere. You don't have any freshmen. You got you have a veteran older team like we was in 2010. You should be there.
They check all the boxes.
Yeah, but James Franklin, he'll go out there and lose to Rutgers or whatever the hell they are. You know, I don't even know. What is Rutgers' mascot? The Rutgers what?
That's a great question. I don't even know. I think
he could go lose to them Saturday. You know what I mean? So you just never know, man.
Scarlet R's or something. I don't know.
Scarlet
R on their head. They something. I don't know what Rutgers. Rutgers. That's a good question.
So you just never know, bro. I don't know.
What about Ohio State? Scarlet Knights, yeah.
What about Scarlet Knights?
What about Ohio State? You see them getting out of the Big 12? Big 10?
They could. It's the Big 10. They ain't got to win but 2 games, right? They could. Ohio State could, but they lost a lot of people. They got a lot of people coming back now.
They did.
Them in Texas is about tit for tat when you do the research on who they lost, who's back. Ohio State could easily do it. They got the most talent. I just don't know, man.
I mean, that's why I went with Georgia Clemson, just because of the returning talent factor. Like both of those teams return a lot of talent. This is gonna be an interesting year, in college football, period. Just because it's so many teams that's starting over with new quarterbacks, stuff like that. So.
Hey, Justin said it right there. Just like Michigan, Ohio State's success depends on that's facts, man. It depends on the QB, man. It just depends on the QB. That's what I think this year is so weird. Clemson, for all intended purposes, man, Clemson should be the number 1 team in the country. If we're having an honest poll, right? These guys got a hell of a people coming back. Their defense is awesome. Their offense wasn't bad. They just always found a way to lose to these SEC teams. They played Georgia tough. They played South Carolina tough. They played Texas tough. They just lost to 3 SEC squads in the beginning, end, and playoffs of the season. Clemson should put it together. They're going to win. Look, start with this. They're going to win the ACC, bro. They're going to win that conference. So they'll get in the playoff because they'll win that conference, right?
The only thing that gives me pause about Clemson, and I picked them, is that when you don't play nobody, play in the conference of the ACC, when you get into them playoffs and you run into a team, those kids hadn't played that type of competition before, and sometimes they get shocked. So that's the only thing. There is an advantage to playing the tough schedule in the SEC when it comes to playoff football because you've seen the toughest of the tough all year. There's not a team in the playoff that's you're gonna run up on that's gonna overwhelm you. That could possibly happen for Clemson because, like you said, they only got two games on their schedule. That's real
That's
competition
facts.
for real.
That's facts, man. But always look to the teams that have the and they could, Gelato. They very well could lose to them and still make the playoff. Right?
Yeah.
If you ask me for a dark horse, J Mims, I would say the dark horse is Alabama, believe it or not. I would say Alabama is a dark horse to really have a really good season to get in that playoff and make some noise. Again, it all falls on. And see, Ready Rock said something. Nobody's talking about Oregon. Nobody's talking about Oregon, man. Right. Nobody's talking about those guys. Don't look now, but Oregon just won. Didn't they win the Big Ten? Didn't they beat, or did Ohio State win the Big Ten? I thought Oregon won the Big Ten. I don't know.
Oregon won the Big Ten last year.
Oregon won the Big Ten. I don't know, man. It's very, very tough. This is going to be a very interesting season, man. Because
my dark horse, I'm telling you, it's Texas A&M. For me, like I'm always going to take a team that can run the ball and play defense, and I think that they're going to be able to do that very well next year. You get that team. You get that team with Marcel Reed, them two backs, and they mess around and lead the SEC in rushing, and you let them in that playoff, whether they win the SEC championship or not, you let them in that playoff. It's a lot of teams that's not going to want to play that time of year. There's a lot of teams not going to want to play that brand of football that late in the year like that. So
I hear James. I hear you, James. Bama still, I hear you, but let's just be real. Can we be honest for a minute? Can we just be honest? We are starting a quarterback that has never played a full season as the starter. We don't know. We all have good feelings about Ty. We think Ty gonna play well, but we don't know. We felt the same way about Jalen. We just don't know. Jalen played well at times, and at times it didn't work out as good. When you have a quarterback who has not had the experience of being a full-time starter, you just don't know. It could go one or two ways, either really, really, really well, or it you just don't know, man. That's why I'm telling you, I favor LSU. They have a quarterback who's seen it all. You're not going to go in there and, Bama got lucky last year. We had some great schemes for him. I think he tried to do too much in the Bama game. It really helped us out. They couldn't stop the quarterback counter read. How many Jalen Milroes is it running around the conference outside of South Carolina's guy, right? So, you gotta weigh all factors and take your fandom out of it and really weigh the football stuff about it. They have a quarterback back that threw for 10,000 yards and a 9-10 win team, 9 win, whatever they had last year. They defense sucked last year. Was at the bottom of the league last year. They still managed to win 8-9. What was it? 9-4. I think it was 9-3, 9-4, whatever it was. Yeah. So don't count them dudes out, bro. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? We almost lost to South Carolina last year at home. A South Carolina team that don't have near the amount of talent as some of the other teams that we played, right? We almost found a way to piss that one away, right? Yep. So you got to weigh all the factors, man. And this great defense we saying that's going to be great. I believe they're going to be great. I'm going to wish that into existence. I watched Michigan throw 7 times and ran over our asses, Say what you want about the offense didn't help. They didn't, but the offense ain't got nothing to do with a single backfield running 12 personnel. You know what I mean? And they running straight at you down your throat and your defensive tackle getting hip tossed. I ain't got nothing to do with the offense. That's just you getting whipped up front.
Because who wants to play that type of football in January? It's not a kid alive that want to line up and play that type of football come January.
We'll see, man. We'll see. You got to do it, right? We got to go out and play well. We got to go out and play well.
I think for y'all, man, the question is, in order for y'all to be a playoff team or contend for the SEC, I see it as the running game. Like what you said, you got Ty, he's inexperienced. you don't really know what you're gonna get. The best thing that you could do for a quarterback like that is have somebody for him to turn around and hand the ball off.
That's a fact.
Jam Miller getting hurt is, I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal because y'all have some more running backs in the backfield. But if that means that the game plan changes, if that means that you go away from the run and you start trying to find these other ways of running the ball, like they say, running the ball through the air and stuff. If you start having to do that and get creative to keep drives and sustain drives, then you're gonna be in trouble. But like if y'all can get some running back production to where he could just turn around and hand the ball off, man, it'll go a long way because that defense is gonna be good. And yeah, if you can run, like I said, you run the ball and play defense, man, you can compete with anybody.
I know. Go ahead.
I hear him, man. I hear him, but I just disagree respectfully. Did South Carolina really sneak up on anybody? I watched South Carolina beat Clemson in the last game of the season, right? I watched them beat them in game 12, right? So they just beat them. Like at game 12, we all know 4th, 5th game, nobody's sneaking up on nobody. You got game tape out there, right? In game 12, they beat the ACC champion like they stole something. And people was talking about that team should have been in the playoffs. If you going by hottest teams, South Carolina should have been there, right? Because didn't nobody want to play them in game 12. We showed in the hell didn't want to see them in game 12. We barely beat Auburn in game 12, turning the ball over, throwing interceptions. Yeah. We damn sure didn't want to see South Carolina again, if we being honest, right? So I don't know if it's really sneaking up on nobody in game 12. They just was good. They were well coached, right? We had an offensive coordinator that liked to run high lows on 3rd and 2. You know, that then the only other option was run the quarterback counter read inside outside zone all day, right? We had a coordinator that believed those were our 3 plays and we're gonna stick to them no matter what the down and distance is. This coordinator would be different. You won't be able to play us with a heavy box man coverage on the outside. This quarterback is going, this coordinator going to test you downfield, right? You won't be able to play zone on us and we still try and throw into a zone. They just sitting on the routes. This coordinator is going to understand how to run mesh across the middle. He's going to understand how to run any type of mesh routes, anything underneath, any type of counter action to help with the pass rush. This coordinator understands that. So I'm anxious to see what happens.
Man, I don't know if y'all, while y'all was talking, man, shout out to y'all too, for real. I was having some technical difficulties. Like, I don't know what, man. Now I was like, can y'all hear me? And y'all just stayed I was like, yeah, they don't hear me. But I'm currently on my wife's computer and it looked lovely. It was a lot smoother. But definitely, man, we're gonna see, man. This is really, really a good discussion, man. And I really want to say this one. We gotta have definitely gotta have guys on here for this discussion, man, because this one is going to be a real, real interesting one that we're going to continue to have throughout the season, and just can't wait to see how everything going to turn out. But appreciate everybody coming up on the show tonight. Definitely a major shout out to Clint Lamb for all that he do, man, and continue to give us a great insight. And always just give us a good show, always, man, and always tell us stuff that he normally don't even say on other shows. So that's really dope of him, man. And I'm glad he enjoyed coming over here. But of course, I gotta let the guys shout out their channels, and we gonna get up out of here. And we may run it back on Thursday. And I'm going to try to have another special guest. He ain't been on here in so long, which a lot of you guys, when I talked to him, it wasn't even a live show. It was pre-recorded. So that's a little giveaway right there. So if you don't know who it is, you'll figure it out. Hope my brother said he definitely want to get back on the show. And he says, just say less, man. Bring me on. So definitely going to bring him up. But of course, we let the brother shout out the show and we're going to get up out of here.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find me at It's SEC Season on all platforms, on your YouTube, on your Twitter, your Facebook, Instagram. You can find me on TikTok too. It's SEC. It's all the same. Posted content, got some shorts out there, just trying to get the algorithm pointing my way. I'm probably, honestly, just letting you guys know, I'm probably gonna do a midday live. I'm gonna try to every day up until the season starts, just to kind of kick this thing off. Promoting the college football pick'em too. If you didn't know, we are hosting a college football pick'em at it's SEC season. The email address is right there. Boom. Yeah. You can go right there, send me an email if you want to participate. I send you the link, put you in the group. Those guys are there. We got some more guys there. We all gonna compete, man, and pick teams at the end of the year is winner take all. So there's that, and we're gonna be talking about it on the episode. So appreciate Brinsky for having me on, man. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure being on here with Coach Sean. The chat, y'all are hilarious, man. Hilarious. I've been dropped on my head in the chat. What else? It's a bunch of stuff, man.
We're ready to rock crazy. He's gonna keep it real regardless.
Oh yeah, man. Go ahead.
But nah, that's it. I was just saying, man, y'all tap in. Y'all see the little, if you subscribe, you see the notification, check in with me. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe now.
Right the now, link is in the chat. I just dropped it in the chat. Make sure you guys go over there and subscribe to his channel, support his channel. Good brother.
Got some cool stuff planned for y'all, man. I showed Brinsky some of it.
Shout out to Ebony jumping in here all late. Got to turn on my notifications. And that's another thing too. If you guys ain't got on your notifications, turn them on. Turn them on. I'm telling you, I'm bringing guests on top of guests, guys that are top guys in the industry. And we already have a guy that comes on here all the time, man. But he just don't like to give himself his credit, man. And that's Coach Sean, man. He knows football, man. And he don't get these flowers, man. Y'all need to let Coach Sean know, man, how great of a guy he is when it comes to this. And he's killing most of these guys out here.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate y'all more than you know, man. You dudes make it possible. I just like talking football, man. Shout out to Coach Al and J Mims. Yes, we are. We're going to be doing the post game. Let everybody tap in. We'll be rotating channels, like for different games. Like Florida State, we might be on Brinsky's. Next week, we might be on Tez's. Next week, we might be on mine. We'll let you guys know early Saturday morning where we're going to be for the post game show. Then we bang on Piano Man's, Coach Carl. We all going to be, so we won't have to split up, so everybody can come and join and be in one big chat. We'll post it that morning. Brinsky is really, 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 really good about letting you guys know where we're going to be. And we'll all get together and talk about it and just break down the game or two. And so all the traffic can come and we all be together and just either lick our wounds and talk some crazy stuff or a cheer and talk bad about Auburn all day. You know what I mean? So, either way, it's be good. So we'll keep y'all posted on that, J Mills. Much love to you, broski. Yeah, man, facts, man. I appreciate you, JJ, man. I appreciate Brinsky and Ted. And hey, man, a brother's only good as the crew he with. And these dudes is awesome. Y'all know it. I know it. I follow whatever they do. I'm not the biggest internet person, right? So, but, I tell you people all the time, man, it's a lot of people out there talking about the insiders and, you don't think you sitting inside of is a room. You know what I mean? You ain't no inside nothing, right? I don't even want to be classified with that. It's enough real insiders out there. Clint and Justin Smith and Andrew Bone and Luke and Jimmy. These dudes all connected with the university. Kyle, they connected with the university so they can tell you what happened because they up there. I don't know nothing about none of that, but I can damn sure get on the whiteboard with anybody that's walking on this planet. You know what I mean? So that's what I like these dudes for. Tez is awesome. Brinsky is awesome. Coach Carl, Coach Al, Jance, my brother Jance. I miss him. Need to hurry and get him. My brother Jake Merrill, wherever he is, get him back. These are the guys that I talk football with, not the outside stuff, not the stuff that's, all this other ridiculousness, right? I just like talking football. Shout out to George Teague and his son. I love their channel. I love stuff like that. I love the film guy. I like that. That's the stuff I like, man. So yeah, man, I appreciate all you guys, man. Shout out to all those guys I just named, along with Clint Lamb. along with Justin Smith, along with Way Offsides, along with Kyle, along with our brother KB, right? Don't let them destroy KB. Wherever he go where he go. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm on. You know, I'm on togetherness. We have a great time. Our followings have all grown. That's what it's about. It ain't about hating on the next man and over some damn internet stuff. I'm gonna hate on Eddie Blackburn and Eddie in here with a purple E. I don't even know this man. Why I'm gonna talk bad about him? You know what I'm saying? If you on here talking bad about another man because he having growth, you need to be slapped with a piece of bologna right across your damn left cheek. You's a buster with a capital B. You's a buster. And I said it, and I'll tell you to your face, any of you. You know what I'm saying? On the dead homies, I will. So you dudes is crazy. I'm so happy for Piano Man, bro. I talked to Piano Man several times when he was distraught about his channel. Look what God did. Dude channel doing this. He's doing this. And can't nothing you can do about it, Hayden. Nothing you can do. But sit your goof ass over there and watch. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. I'm gonna give it to you raw, man. Luckily, I have a job. So this internet is something I do for a hobby, bro. Because I enjoy talking football. We came into this on Kyle's show just to talk football. That's it. No hate. No, my channel is bigger. I went to do my own channel because I wanted to talk about HBCU football. Shout out to my brothers from HBCU Highlight. Shout out to all my brothers that I do content with. I wanted to do other things outside of talking about Alabama, right? And shout out to Kyle because he always, regardless of what happened, he gave us the chance to do that. So I'll forever be grateful for him for that, right? I got no problem with Kyle. I talked with Kyle about all the madness that happened. I talked with him. I ain't go on Twitter and type about it. I went talk to the man, I went talk to him. And we talked on the, you know, so that's what it's about for me, man. I just appreciate everybody in the chat for typing it. It's about you guys, man. It ain't about us, bro. If you guys didn't show up, if JJ didn't show up, and Susan and Gelato and Eddie, if all y'all didn't, and Eddie, I'm just using you as an example.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell Eddie.
Yeah,
like Eddie, he was just using you in as
Eddie. I'm just using you as an example, my brother. Nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Gelato been with us for the longest time. I could have said Gelato. Hey, I see Gelato. I just see a green ass G. Why don't be mad at Gelato for something he say? That's that man's opinion. That is the fun in this, fellas and fellowettes. I get you guys teach me stuff, right? JJ, Double L, even Miss Susan, they say things, and I be like, hey, yeah, I didn't think of that. I learned from you guys. That's what this is about. It ain't about getting mad at nobody, man, because of their damn opinion. The hell is wrong with these people, right? Facts, J Mims. That's what I was worried about getting on here, bro. You know, because I don't have the internet etiquette yet, right? So I'm learning, though. I'm learning what to say and not say, because I be want to smack your damn flippers off in real life. If people that know me would tell you that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to do that. I want to get on the internet and talk and learn from Clint and learn from everybody else, right? That's what it's about. And I apologize for going on this rant, but it needs to be said.
It needed to be said.
It needs to be said. All these people running around mad about internet, but then you ain't mad in real life about nothing. You won't bust a grape. You ain't doing nothing. You walk around in Sean Cletar's flip-flops. Like, you ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get on here and type and cuss me out. I can't even. I tried that. I tried on Twitter. I get into people on Twitter. I'm trying to type mother effer, and I'm typing mother plucker with a P because I can't type as fast. So I said, "Yep, that ain't me.
That ain't for me."
No, I can't do it fast. I'm typing mother plucker with a P. I'm like, that don't even sound right, you know. So I can't do that, bro. I can't do all the typey type. You know, either pull up or shut your mouth. You know what I mean? And keep it off the internet if it's gonna be that, and get to it. You know what I mean? Other than that, enjoy your day, man. Piano Man, you do your thing. I'm so proud of you, brother. You keep on doing your channel because you entertaining. I love it. Listen to what you say. I'll be at work, listen to B Sharp, listen to Piano Man. Finna hop right on Ted stuff tonight. You know what I mean? That's what it's about, man. Coach Carl's channel. Very positive. Coach Al. These dudes is who I like to talk to because it's about football. Ain't nobody mad at nobody. Ain't nobody watching subscribers and all this ridiculous stuff. You know what I mean? Like, bro, everybody out there keep doing what you're doing. Shout out to Way Offside. Shout out to Justin and them at Bama Standard. I like these dudes. They football guys, man. Shout out to George Teague. That's what it's about. Football. I get on here and talk to Jay Mims and Kimberly, and we can all either be mad at Bama and say what we want to say. It's the truth, man. Y'all mad about internet stuff. You 2,000 miles away, mad at somebody. Man, you don't get your. I got a 13-year-old daughter I got to worry about. What the hell I'm mad at you about some internet? When this internet go off, it go off. Give a damn what you. I'm kidding about that. You know what I mean? So that's all it is, man. Facts, Eddie. That's all it is. It's just fun. We all talk, have a good time. And if you taking it more serious than that, you need to really go look at yourself in the mirror, homie. Because I know dudes out there that got way more serious fish to fry than this damn internet. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all, bro. You know what I mean? You can find me at JMHO Sports Talk on Twitter and YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, the rant of the year. He already in mid-season form. He already in
mid-season form.
Shout out to KB, man.
James form. But yeah, man, definitely it needed to be said, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that showed love, man. And definitely a major shout out to Alabama A&M. Celebrates 150.
Yes.
150 years on the hill. Shout out to everybody at Alabama A&M. Shout out to all the homies that I know that went to Alabama A&M. Shout out to Quint. Shout out to the little homie Tony, who is Bobby's little brother, who went up to A&M. So, man, it's so many folks to name, man. But shout out to everybody that went up there and Coach Shade. But Big Bama brand dropped a $9.99, man.
Rock the owner.
Said Mill Road WA is so man, chill out, man. Chill out.
Like crazy, man.
Man, chill out, man. It's all good, man. Shout out to Jalen, man. Shout out to Jalen, man. Y'all be showing out on this internet, man. Y'all be showing out, man. But appreciate everybody coming on over here, man. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button before you walk out of here. If you on Twitter, please make your way over here to the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and come on over here, man. It's all fun and games, man. We don't take stuff serious over here. There's other people that take it that serious with us, just giving honest football opinion. But like we say, man, I think Coach Sean said it best, man. If you really want to do something, you'll handle it off the internet.
Get off the internet and can handle your business.
And I believe in this. And I be like, if you really wanted to handle it off the internet, we can handle it off the internet. And one thing I like to say, I can fight. So, it's all good, man. But we don't want no drama, man. We family, man. But man, shout out to everybody, man. Of course, F them trees forever and a day. Y'all already know. And we'll catch y'all on the next one, man. And y'all already know, Roll Tide. And we almost here to see some football. Catch y'all on the next.